Hello and welcome. My name is Peace Mitchell and I'm co-founder of Women Changing the World Press. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that I live and work on, the people of Mamu country in North Queensland. And I would also like to pay my respects to traditional owners and elders right across Australia and the Torres Strait. Well, today we are here to celebrate the launch of our new book, Purpose and Passion. And I'm very excited to have one of our authors with me today, Sinead Brace, to have a chat about her chapter. Please join me on stage, Sinead.
Hello, Peace. How are you?
I'm great. It's so lovely to have you here, Sinead. And I'd love to begin by getting you to tell us a bit about you and the work that you do for people who might not have met you before.
So I own a business called 𝒂𝒔𝒔𝒔𝒊𝒐𝒏 Creative, which I have been owning and operating for the last about 4 to 5 years. So my background came from sales and sales coordination at some pretty large companies. And after having kids, I kind of wanted to figure out a way to make everything work together. And my business has fallen into place to be able to use all those skills that I had gained previously and be able to support some amazing women in business. So, yeah.
Amazing. So your chapter, Sinead, was called Igniting Your Potential. Can you tell us about this title and what this chapter is about?
So writing this chapter was just an amazing experience for me. It has igniting your potential came from the fact that I still am one of those people that has so many hobbies and different interests, and it feels like they change all the time. And for a long time, I was like, what am I doing? I feel like I'm just going through life and not actually achieving anything, but just have so many odd different skill sets. And then I was sitting down not long ago and listening to one of my clients' podcasts and was like, oh my God, I think all of these things that I've learned from all these different places are actually coming together and they're driving me towards my purpose. And now I use some of those snippets from everything that I've learned throughout my life, and they actually all help me in my business now, which is really cool. So I share a bit about that journey and about that discovery. And for me, it's really been igniting my own potential and that real drive for self-belief and becoming your own biggest advocate. So that's what my chapter's about.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. I mean, in your chapter, you talk about the fact that you studied art at university. Then you went and worked for Coca-Cola.
Yep.
You also trained as a yoga instructor, and then you worked in sales. There were so many different pieces of interest and different things that you did along the way. But ultimately, this journey really helped you get to where you are today. Can you tell us a bit more about the journey and some of those things that you did during that time?
Yeah. So it all sounds so disjointed, which just is crazy when I look back at some of the things that I've done, like, working in sales. I worked in the Outback in the Pilbara, and I worked for Coca-Cola for a really long time. And then I went into sales coordination, which was amazing, but that taught me a whole different side of sales, more the administration and stuff. But then when I started my business, and, I've done my arts degree. And then when I started my business, my first client, I was supporting her with sales. I was helping her with her CRM system and the back end. And then one of the biggest components which tied it all together was she was a photographer. So I had this real creative aspect to the practical knowledge that I had built throughout my career. And it all kind of tied together, which was really awesome. And now I can see how little bits of everything that I've done really drive who I work with, the different directions that I can take my business, and also the skill set that I can offer in support services to my clients as well, because it is really broad.
Yeah, that's amazing. Amazing how it has all led you on this path. But you talk about in your chapter the importance of self-belief, and the fact that others have doubted you when you started your business, but you didn't let this stop you. So can you tell us a bit about your self-belief and your journey to becoming more, confident in your own self-belief?
Yeah. So I had my first client who I worked with for a while, and for me at the time, it wasn't about earning an income replacement. It was just that little bit to help. And then as I slowly, grew my business, started to pick up more clients and all that kind of stuff, I had a lot of people tell me that I was really silly for what I was doing. And a lot of the time, it was actually family members or people around me that had a lot of doubt. And because I was looking at going into the virtual assistant space, their mindset and their belief was, well, you're just offering social media support. Not everyone needs that, which, everyone does. And it was so much bigger than that. So for me, it was really like, no, I can actually do this. I've proven to myself that I can do it by having one client to start with. So why can't I do it for more? So I really had to believe in myself and trust in myself that I knew my plan, knew my purpose, knew what I was working towards. And it's been kind of awesome now because they're all like, oh, you're doing so well. And I'm like, you know what, I am.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that you trusted yourself and you didn't listen to the people who doubted you,
Yeah,
who
definitely.
keep going. Yeah. So in your chapter, you also talk about the importance of pivoting and how, if when you started, you had this idea of how things might go and the kind of work you were going to be doing. But as you grew the business and as you evolved over time, you pivoted, but it's actually been an incredible way to find the kind of work that you want to be doing. Can you tell us more about that experience?
So when I started, I was pretty much accepting anything and everything that came my way, but terrible idea in terms of structure because I was going from one thing to the next and it was a bit crazy. But once I kind of came out of that period where I was like, okay, what parts of this do I enjoy? What parts don't I enjoy? What clients do I like working with? Which clients would I rather not work with? And it has really helped to give me that direction. So at one stage after I was a couple of months into business, I was like, I really want to draw on my arts background and I'd love to just work with Australian artists. So I had a really good period where I just supported Australian artists with the sales and growth aspect of their business and diversifying their income stream. But after doing that for about 6 months, I was like, you know what, I feel like I can potentially do a little bit more. And there's other aspects that I would love to be able to explore. And then I've run with it. When I get those urges to go in a different direction or pivot or work with a different client type, I really let my business kind of flow with me. And it's been amazing because I've worked with so many incredible people and it's given me the chance as a person as well to be able to grow and develop and do all those fantastic things that I never thought owning a business would give me the possibility to be able to do.
Yeah, I love that so much. And your chapter really does showcase your journey. And I think it will be super inspiring for other people who are like you. They have lots of different interests and are wondering how it's all going to work together. But I think your story really will reassure people that you can have multifaceted interests and bring it all together, no matter what your journey has been.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Sinead, for being here today and chatting with us. But thank you for sharing your chapter as well. It's super inspiring and I really loved reading it.
Oh, thank you so much, Peace. Just this whole process of writing my chapter has been amazing. So I've loved being part of this journey.
Oh, you're so welcome. Well, thank you very much again, Sinead, and thank you to everybody who tuned in. You can grab your copy of Purpose and Passion from our website, wcwpress.com. And thanks so much. We'll see you again soon. Bye.